What up? Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, uh, depending on whatever time you're watching. Personally, for me, it's 7:14. This is the 12th of July. It's a Sunday. And yeah, I decided to finally do this thing. Yeah, just to come here and yap about my life. And that's why you're here, Sai. And I've had quite a beautiful day today, being Sunday. Normally inakuanga sort of a rest day, a reset day. Normally just chill in the house, maybe go outside, take a walk. I really enjoy watching podcasts on YouTube. I also do that a lot. And maybe a bit of doom scrolling up and pale. But that's not why we're here. I was just giving you a brief of how my day was. Uh, so far so good, tuko July. Almost tunaelekea towards the end of this 2026, which was believed to be a horse year. Yeah. But unfortunately for me, it didn't really unfold as I expected. Personally, I'm not a resolutions guy. Like January, maybe I set these resolutions, maybe to lose weight, to do this, to do that. Me flow my life, vile inakam, and ideally I just set a few goals in there. And personally, this year has been a lot. Yani, in my adult life, I bet this has been the toughest year for me. This year, maybe 2021, but this year personally has been tough because I had something going. Uh, the momentum yenye nilikuwa nimecreate personally since 2022, 2023, 2024, and let's say half of 2025, so sort of inapotea. In 2022, I left university. I had deferred the previous year in 2021 and stayed back in campus. I was employed your time. I was working as a waiter in a hotel or a cafe. I was in first year. I only did my first and second semester, and then life became something I didn't really like. And nikaona it's really hard for me to continue pursuing my studies. And yeah, on September 2021, I decided to defer. Personally, I was taking a break, and along the way, I realized that I can't really come back. My plan initially was to take that break, maybe look for money. The thing that made me actually defer didn't have enough money to sustain myself in campus, as I was majorly taking care of myself, tuseme hivyo. Kukuwa na a lot of help per se na come from home, and I was just struggling to pay my rent, to buy food, and at times even, especially nakumbuka as I was doing my 1.2 exams, manze, I couldn't clear my school fees. Something happened your time, the systems, and it came by that kulikuwa na a balance. And ile experience nilipata your time going to the, I don't know, was it secretary ama nini, and them taking my exam card and telling me, ndio tupatie exam card, you have to clear your fee. I really didn't like it. It really broke me, gave me a bit of trauma. Ilinikumbusha a part of my childhood that I didn't want to revisit. I didn't want to relive that part of my childhood again. And as I was doing my exams, finally I got my exam card. I went and talked to them, nikamwambia niaje, let's do this. I'd really want to do this exam. We were a couple of people. And I remember personally they told me that we'll give you your exam card, utaenda ufanye exam, but make sure you clear these fees. If you don't clear these fees, I guess probably they won't key in my marks or something. And man, I was like, nah, man, I didn't imagine that I was going to go through something I'd gone through while I did my primary school. I used to be sent a lot of times back home for school fees as a kid, and I didn't really like it. And the thought that I was to experience this again in university didn't really sit well with me because initially, or before in high school, I luckily got a scholarship that took care of my school fees from first year to, no, from Form 1 to Form 4. Now I'm in campus, I'm going through this hard time. I'm basically not receiving much help from home, and by home I mean like family. Yeah, there was a lot going on back at home. Money wasn't coming in well, nini nini. Yeah, kuna a whole part of that story maybe I'll tell in the future. So I decided to defer. And your time I was working in this cafe or hotel. It used to serve students around the campus. The university was Moi University. It used to serve the students in Moi University, ilikuwa inaitwa Candies. So this guy, the boss, call him the boss, naitwa Willis, nini nini. I had approached him while I was still doing my 1.1. And sort of we spoke, shared a bit hapa na pale, and basically he allowed me to work in the cafe. And because that time I was a student, so sometimes niko classes, I can't come to work. Sometimes I'm at work. Yani during my free time ningeenda kufanya kazi. But times the classes, me, I was very keen on going for classes and everything. So because I wasn't a full-time employee, they told me, but I don't know how we came about that agreement, but anyways, payment yangu ilikuwa food. No. As I've earlier mentioned, that time I was really struggling, even with food and some basic needs hapa na pale. So for me, manze, that was a blessing, manze. Having to work part-time na kupatiwa food, and the boss was a really nice guy. Cha tuseme hivyo. Yeah, so I'm working in this hotel. Let's move fast forward. I defer. I go to this guy, tell him niaje. Finally, mi nimetoka chuo, nimeteka break. Nataka kuwork full time. And at that time, he enrolled me, nikaingia payroll immediately. Used to be paid 200 bob per day. Yeah. Naingia asubuhi 7. Probably you get out of there around 10 in the evening. Get your 200 bob. Also still, with that 200 bob, kupata food pia for free. Yeah, and I really enjoyed my time there until ikafika a time where I felt like I outgrew the place. So let's move fast forward 2022. That whole experience here, deferring, doing the hotel job was 2021. Moving forward to 2022, I sort of got an idea to start maybe like a small business. I was selling deco lights za kuweka kwa hao and a few electronics here and there. Got a few clients, nini nini. Prior to that, I was also doing another business. Way before I even got employed, I used to sell crisps and beef samosas. Yeah, I used to make them in my house, post online, niaje, vitu zimeiva, whoever wants, make an order. Yeah, nikienda maybe classes, ama lectures, I carry the crisp mostly niko beba kwa bag. After classes, napatia sell kwa make orders. Yeah, the samosas I used to do house deliveries mostly. And it helped me, nisaidia kujisustain at that time. So 2022, I do this deco lights business and a few electronics like extensions, nini nini, and deco pieces za kupamba tu hao. And it really ilikuwa fiti, it went really well. I started on the ground. I used to tandika a gunia. Hapo, for people who have been to my university, you know, stage. So I used to tandika gunia hapo around stage and just put my stuff over there and kila jioni. I used to do it in the evenings. Kila jioni people pass by and wanauliza, hey, hii ni nini? I realized the best way to get students attention ni kuuza vitu unique, selling things they're not used to. Yeah, so I tandika my stuff there, nini nini. These people come, they check out, hey, they like it, nini. They used to buy. I used to get a lot of clients. Funny enough, whenever I start something new or a new business, I don't really struggle a lot getting clients. So I did that in 2022. I even got a shop, like a small kiosk, Mbao and Mobati hivi shop there, stage. And I went on with this business. I brought in some few board games. Yeah, and as I said, it really helped me out. I learned a lot of lessons pertaining business, how to handle stock, how to do your profits, nini nini. Yeah, and it was a good experience until it got to a time I realized I really need to make a shift. I needed to move out from that place and maybe come back to Nairobi. Home ilikuwa Juja. My plan was not initially actually to come back to Juja. That time, my girlfriend had gotten an opportunity around somewhere called Ruiru. So the plan was to come to Ruiru, look for a house, move to this side, and just see kwenye life itaenda. But unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. And the best option I saw was come back to Juja because I knew Juja because it's nimezaliwa basically these sides, and it's where I actually live now. And I come back to Juja. That was around still August or September 2022. It was after the elections. Yeah, come back to Juja, get this beautiful, decent 2-roomed house, double room, and just settled in. Yeah, and basically that's where I carried on with the business for deco. In Moi University, I started doing like framed prints. I used to buy these frames from a guy who we personally discovered on IG, Instagram, and we'd go print photos, put them in the frames, and people really liked the idea. So fast forward, that time TikTok was booming. No, TikTok was it that time. Personally, I couldn't dance and do all those things, lip syncing things on TikTok. But I saw a gap and an opportunity maybe to start posting my stuff, like the artworks I was making. Basically, when I came back to J, I really focused on making framed prints and photo mounts. I used to go to Tao, CBD Nairobi. I buy these frames, I go down to Koja, I print the pictures, I frame them, I deliver. That was it. I didn't have a shop name. I was actually operating from my backpack. Yeah. Kwa beba vitu zangu kwa backpack, makasi, nyundo, anything. I just put them in the bag. Go to Tao, nikipata order, I go buy the frames, go. It was just a routine. So it was making me some decent money at least. Could buy food and nini. Yeah. And sustaining me kidogo kidogo, helping with paying rent. Until fast forward to 2023. I did something else in between there, which I'll come to maybe in future, but 2023, one day me and my girlfriend were just moving in Tao. I don't remember tulikuwa tunatafuta nini. Then we saw these really nice cards, like card games. They were drinking games. They were like, wow, this zinakaa fiti, they look really nice. We asked the person who was at the shop, how much are these? He told us the price and was like, let's do this. Let's get a few pieces. I don't remember, we took maybe 1 or 2 pieces and try to post them on our TikTok and see how people react to it. So we buy from the guy at the price he was selling them at to us. And then we add a bit of markup on top for profit post. And funny enough, it peaked into a big business. I was still operating on the same backpack. Nikipata orders, I just put the games in my bag. Actually, I stopped doing the framed prints business because it later on, the market ikakuwa oversaturated along the way. So I've stopped this framed prints business. I've picked up this card games and board games business. And luckily we found a supplier. We weren't buying from this guy when we discovered the games from. We found a supplier who was actually giving them to us for a really affordable price. And yeah, that's why we built up a very nice business that really sustained us for the whole of 2023, 2024, 2025. Basically, this business was paying rent, buying food, do ya sherehe. I was able to send some money to my grandma and do anything that I'd really wanted at that time. Also investing back in the business, growing it, nini nini. Yeah, we were still running this game with my girlfriend until maybe last year when things just changed. No, the orders started going down less and less and less, and we discovered this decline maybe around past mid-year of last year, 2025. And until this year when I saw that it was really taking a toll on my mental health because I'd gotten familiar to this business. No, I knew this nikifanya 1, 2, 3, I get money for rent, I get money for food, nini 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 nini. Until this year it got a bit worse and sat down with my partner and we saw niaje. Let's do this. I'll let you run the business because all along she used to handle mostly the social media part, like coming up with content, posting, handling, talking to clients. Personally, my work was mainly to fulfill orders, handle clients, nini, restock the shop, balance out the stock, nini. Yeah. So I saw that because place business imefika sahi, one person can do all this. It doesn't need two people. So you do it, and personally I look for something else to do. Along the way, I've been trying out forex trading. Funny enough, I know most people don't have a good perception about forex and everything, of which it has really done a number on me. I've lost quite an amount of money. I've also made quite an amount of money. Let's not say I've made a lot of money as I'd have expected. I can't say to a point that I'm profitable, but yeah, I've made money, I've lost money. It has been a whole emotional roller coaster and everything. And yeah, so this year at around, I guess it was just recently, around April, May, I stepped down from the business. A friend of mine, uh, whom I really appreciate, decided to invest in me. I had this new idea to make some artwork, nini nini. I was getting this idea of furniture. I'm a person who picks up new things along the way. Yeah. And basically, I like things that deal with creativity and entertainment and that. So my whole idea was to start a sort of deco business. It's like I was going back to the deco business. And yeah, this friend luckily was at that time was broke. Leading up to early this year, I used up all my savings to fill in the gaps, the pesa and everything, because rent became an issue. Also, last year we made a decision with my partner to move into a bigger house. We had prospects that things would be okay, that business would work out, nini nini. So we used to live in a bed sit all along. We moved into a 1 bedroom, so that means more rent. Funny thing, I got stuck because when we moved into that bed sitter, the 1 bedroom now, our plan was to furnish it with new things, new seats, a bed, a TV, maybe a sound system, but finances were down, ile mbaya. And the only money that we were able to raise was for rent and food. Only that. Not for buying any extra things. At least for the bit of savings we had, we were able to change our mattress, maybe get a few things in there, but nothing too big, nothing too fancy. Yeah, and it remained like that. I was never able to furnish the house since last year around, yes, September. A lot of changes in my life happen around July and September. A lot of shifts. Every year I have a shift around that time. Yeah. So until now, I've never been able to furnish the house. Yeah, except the mattress and maybe PC, a projector, and a few things here and there. But seats, TV, microwave, sound system, hizo vitu zote, never got to buy new ones. Yeah. And yeah, here we are today. It's July. Uh, let's say personally, I have no savings right now. I drained all my money, filling easy gaps hapa na pale. Also trying to invest in things that don't work out. Try to invest in this, try to put money into forex. The brokers wanapita na do, nini. So now I've gotten to a point whereby everything came falling down. And what can I do? Because funny enough, it gives me a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry. Because now I've realized I can't afford this house anymore. Can't pay for the rent. Can't afford pay me a problem. It's like I'm repeating a certain cycle that was happening back in 2021. And it's really heartbreaking. Yeah. Actually, it has really fucked up with my mental health to a certain level. Personally, I'm a person, niki overwhelmed, I freeze. I'm not a fight or flight person or a fawn person. I just freeze. I can't do anything. No. Even the smallest thing that I know that will help me maybe make some money, I just can't do. I go through these cycles of self-doubt, sabotage, stress. It's just a lot. But basically, my point of making this video is that I wanted to have some online evidence that, yeah, I once lived this part of my life, and I've gathered a lot of lessons along the way. I've made quite a number of mistakes. I've made quite a number of good choices that probably led up to where I am right now. But I can't give up. No. I can raise my hand and say, fuck all this shit. Oh, sorry for cursing. I can just say that because personally I don't have a fallback plan. I can't say that I'll go back home. I personally don't really have that home, and I did not want to stress anyone in my family. I'm a person who doesn't like being a burden to others and everything. And I've gotten to that stage where I sort of feel like a burden. Yeah, I've been borrowing a few friends here and there, a bit of 100 bob, 50 shillings, 200 shillings. And I really don't want to live that life. Currently in debt. I have a few fuliza debts here and there. A really fat okojahazi. Yeah. And that's where I am right now. That's my reality. And I accept it right now. But what I want to do is, I want to accept, sitakubali kukaa in this situation. No. Because I'm at a point whereby everything around me, quite a number of people around me are going through something in their life. No. Yeah, call a friend, Niaje, how you doing? Life is like this. I call a family member, how are you? Life is like this. So it makes me feel like there's this whole negative energy around me, which I don't really like. No. But I believe everything will be alright. No. I'm stepping into an identity of the kind of person I'd really want to be in future. Because I've realized part of my identity is still stuck in the past. My traumas, my mistakes, I still hold on to a few of those things because they give me meaning or anything in life, but I can't go on living like that. If I really want to live a better life, I really have to change my identity, to shift my mindset. Yeah, and just reprogram my subconscious mind, because this is what's running everything. Everything that I've created, every idea that I've come up with, everything, even right now shooting this, it has come from here. So this is the center. If I can sit down with myself and just get in here and probably change my mindset about a few things in there. I'm sure I'll get something to do. Things will get better. Personally, I have big faith. That's the problem. Well, that's the good thing. I'm a person who my whole life has been having faith that things will work out, that new opportunities will arise, that we won't stay in this ditch forever. No. And my advice is to any young person out there who's probably going through something. I won't say that you're not alone or something like that, but all I can tell is that things get better. And things will get better. You have to believe. You have to step into that identity that actually lives better. No. And that's what I'm willing to do. That's why I shot this video. Uh, I'll upload it on YouTube. And I'm sure one day I'll look back at it and I'll laugh. I'll say, Manze, that guy was going through a lot, but he really did it. He really sat down, put on the camera, talked about his life, his mistakes, and everything. And he really did it. He didn't quit. He persevered. He showed up, even when things were uncertain. Yeah, and I'll be so proud of myself. Actually, I'm already proud of myself right now. So, as from today, I'll have to make a few different choices. I'll have to let go of this house. Yeah, I'll tell you the truth. Today I went and spoke to my caretaker and actually told him, Manze, I may not be able to pay for this house. Luckily, I don't have any rent arrears. But this month's rent, I couldn't raise it, Manze. For the first time in a very long time, in my life or in a very long time, I've not been able to raise rent. And it's okay. I'm a person who mikubali venye life iko. I can't lie to myself and say, okay, acha nitakuwa nampiga kona, or I'll just try and hold on and stay a few months. I don't want to accumulate more debt. I already have debt, and I really hate debt. Yeah. So I don't want to accumulate more debt. I don't want to lie to myself. If I can't afford this one bedroom that I couldn't even furnish, I'll go look for a smaller house and start over. I personally have to sell a few household items here and there because I don't want to move with the whole bulk of things. And that's okay with me. I've made peace with that. I'll have to give up this hood. I've grown here in Georgia. I've spent almost all my life here. It's high time I really moved to a whole other hood. Somewhere where people don't know me, somewhere I'm not familiar with, I'm not comfortable with. But the problem with going back home or somewhere you're familiar with is that you can get comfortable. And I believe personally, at some point I got comfortable. No. So I'm really willing to start my life afresh. Everything new. Sell off anything that I don't need. Because I believe I'll get much better things in future. I'll buy much better furniture. I'll buy much better anything I need personally. Because I know I'm capable of that. I have the mind. I have the willpower right now. I'm only supposed to build the discipline, the motivation, and the consistency. And I'll be okay. So if you're out there and you're going through something right now, don't worry. Come inside. We're going to get out of this ditch. I promise you that. You won't stay in this mtaro forever. Lazima tutoke. Lazima tupenye. That younger me, that younger Kelvin who used to believe that the future is so bright that I'll be driving, I'll be owning a really nice house, my family will be living the best of their lives, I'll be healthy, my friends will be doing so well in their lives. I believe that still exists. No idea visits you just randomly. So that's not good ideas because they actually exist in this planet. You just have to tap in to that frequency and it unfolds. Yeah, so I'll do my best to post on this page. I'll do my best to post my story, life lessons that I've learned along the way, and all those things. Yeah. So